What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode on mods and fixes. Now, today we are going to do some powder coating. As you can see, I got 3 valve covers ready to go. Not ready yet; they're in the process. So, these are from Eclipses and from 95 to 99. Mitsubishi Eclipses. This would be the valve cover that was on the Fast and Furious Eclipse movie. The non-turbo, the 4GA something. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But you know what I'm talking about. So 3 valve covers. One is ready to go. One is almost ready, and the other one we still need to strip the old paint off. I believe this is powder coated from the factory, because it is a pain to come off. Now, I paid a total of $100 to get these 3 sandblasted, because my sandblaster is blocked right now by my lowrider, which the battery is dead. So, oh well, maybe I should have just put those $100, moved my lowrider out the way, and sandblasted them myself. But oh well. This one is nice and clean, ready to go. All I would have to do is rub it with some prep oil and start powder coating it. This one still has some stuff in the edges that needs to come off, so we're going to do that. And this one, of course, the whole freaking thing. So I started taking off the old paint off. But I began using a wire wheel that was already on my grinder, and as you can tell, there's some lines in it because the old wire wheel was going bad and it was messing it up. So I put a new wire wheel on it, and I started evening out, getting rid of those deep lines. So, but I'm not going to continue with the wire wheel. It was a bad idea. But what I am going to do, though, if I have to, with a special wire wheel, I don't know what you want to call it, but right here, as soon as this starts to spin, once that thing starts to spin, it spreads out and then goes back in when you stop spinning it, and it's freaking cool. It'll literally get all of that in there. So we're going to turn all of these valve covers into into that. And I already did it a while ago, so we're going to do this. These are going to help fund my Mitsubishi build, the Fast and Furious replica build. It's not going to be 100% replica, but it'll be very, very close. So you can call it a tribute/replica. Well, all right. Well, since I gave up with the wire wheel, I don't want to continue with that. I'm going to go ahead and spray some, I don't know where my bottle went. Oh, some paint stripper. Gonna spray it, wait 15 minutes, crinkle it up. I'm going to use the power washer to help me get it all off. I am going to do some scraping and stuff, and using a wire brush and taking it off. It's the hard way, but it gets it off clean. I did it before getting these 3. So let's get to it. I'm gonna spray it and then power wash it. Alright, well, those past 4 or 5 hours sucked. So I got all 3 prepped and ready to go. So I'm gonna tell you that right now, it's just, if you have a sandblaster, or you can do one of those YouTube at home sandblasters with a plastic Coke bottle, I recommend you do it. If you don't want to spend, over $300 on a Harbor Freight cabinet blaster, because if I would have used mine, I would have been done maybe within an hour or 2 of just blasting. But of course, that wasn't the case this time. So 5 hours later, now I'm ready. I wiped it real good with prep all after stripping all of the paint, all the powder coated paint that they had before from the factory. So now we're gonna get ready. So the reason why I wanted to get all three ready at the same time is because I have to swap out the powder in between different colors, because the 16 valve, that has to be yellow, the 2.0 liter and the dog has to be blue. So I figured I'd do all the 16 valves first. I can probably do 2 valve covers at the same time, and then I can swap over to blue and get it done. So what I'm gonna do is, because I don't want to get yellow everywhere, I'm gonna just get a hard piece of paper, like poster paper, just kind of block off the rest of the letters and do it that way. So I'm gonna do that right now. Do it with the yellow, and then do the blue. Then I'm going to pop all of these, or maybe just the 2, to bake. Take it out, cool those down as much as I can with the fan. Cool them down as much as I can, and then I'm gonna spray the chrome over it. And before I toss it in the oven, I'm just gonna swipe it with my hand off with, take off the chrome powder, and then toss it in there, and they'll be ready. So let me do the yellow and the blue. I'm gonna have to swap out, because if we're using powder coat, I gotta clean the powder coat gun out each time very, very well. As you can see, that's all the orange that I took out of it from last time. So let me do this real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got the colors that I said I was gonna do. Just use that paper, keep the colors separated. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put 2 covers in the oven right now to bake, because I need to redo this one. My hand moved and the paper landed on it, on the letters right here. So let me toss these in there. I'm gonna fix that, and when all these 3 are done baking, then I'll show you how they came out, and then chrome is after that. So just in between the valve covers, the 2 valve covers are cooling down. The 3rd one is baking at the moment. Now in between, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, well, how the hell did you get them cleaned up like that? Well, I did end up using a little bit of the wire wheel on the grinder. I used different types of brushes. I used this kind of welding brush. It helps a lot for a large surface. The scraper helps a lot as well. I did use a brass brush, and I used a different type of brush. Let's see, that has like that little brush on top. That helps get the in between the nooks and crannies. That's really hard to get. So I got this little brush at Home Depot. I recommend getting it as long as it has that little brush on the top of the head of the main brush. It helps very good. There's different types of sizes. And just a lot of elbow grease, just really scraping and scrubbing away. So I mean, it was a pain in the butt. So I recommend using a sandblaster if you have access to one, or if you got money, go have it sandblasted by a company. So yeah, I mean, it'll help you out. So the main reason for letting these cool down as much as we can is once I go and spray the chrome powder over it, and if these valve covers are still pretty warm, the chrome powder is going to stick to the letters. And if I go and rub it off with my fingers so we can keep the letters, the colors we want them, well, there's a chance of that powder not coming off. So there's a chance of that, and we don't want that. So these need to be really cool to the touch these are now, well, this one's still a little warm. This one's good to go. So we can go ahead and spray this one. This one still needs to be cooled down. Yeah, this one's nice and ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray the chrome powder on this valve cover, and then I gotta wait for the last one to be ready, and then I can spray this one once it's cool. Hopefully you can hear me. That fan is pretty loud. So, but yeah, this is my little setup. Pretty easy right here, from Eastwood. It's a basic setup. They have different types, but this is pretty easy to use. You gotta make sure you ground this to your part that you're powder coating, and then this is the negative charge button. As you're spraying with one hand, you gotta press this at the same time to create that negative charge. If there's no negative charge, if you forget to hit the button, or you forget to put on the ground clamp, then the powder is not going to stick. It's just gonna float in the air and do whatever it wants. So yeah, and in between colors, you gotta really air out the gun. You gotta use that little air nozzle, really spray it clean before you put the new canister of powder on that gun. It's really easy to use. It comes with one extra different tip to get into nooks and crannies. It has two different setups of power, low voltage or high voltage. I mainly stick on low voltage, no issues there. So yeah, that's my little setup. Easy to use with an air compressor. I have two filters right there, one replaceable. Well, they're both replaceable, but when doing powder, you cannot have any moisture in the powder. So okay, well, let me I'm just waiting now, waiting for the third one to finish up, and then I can start powder coating chrome on the other valve covers once they're cool. Well, I'll be right back. Okay, so I just remembered that I completely forgot to tell you guys the oven baking process. So right here, as you guys can see, I got one almost done. Before I tossed this one into the oven, I accidentally touched it right about there. And well, I said to myself, I'm gonna go ahead and bake it. So I did, and I'm gonna just do a little quick spray on it and see how it turns out. Hopefully it turns out okay. If not, then I'm gonna have to redo this whole valve cover later. But as you guys can tell, look at that, just like the movie. But in this case, it doesn't have to be kept up polished and anything like that. So this is perfect. So hopefully, just I did a little, sprayed a little bit of powder chrome. Hopefully it does okay. The other two are in there baking right now. Looks like they're about to start turning a little bit chrome. So I gotta wait a few more minutes before I turn the temperature down. So the process for baking, I pretty much wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. Just so you know, some powder manufacturers suggest something different, but I figured this actually works for me. So what I do, I preheat the oven to 450 degrees, wait till it's ready, then I pop the item in, and once you start seeing the color change to the color it's supposed to be, then you start dropping it down to 405 degrees and set a timer for 20 minutes. After that, let it pull it out, let it cool down to the touch, and you're done. That's it. That's all you gotta do. But And depending on how big the part is, if it's a big part like these take a lot longer for it to heat up and for the powder to start turning into the color that it needs to turn. It doesn't need to be fully changed to drop the temperature down, just as long as you see that bit of a change. You see that bit of a change, then lower the temperature to 405, let it be in there for another 20 minutes, and you're done. When you do small parts, usually it starts turning that one color in about 5 or 10 minutes. Then you add the 20 minutes at a lower temperature, and it's done. So I'm gonna let these bake. I'm gonna put that one back in after those are in there, and that's pretty much it. So I guess let me finish, I guess, all three and fixing that one, and I'll show you guys the end result of all three. Be right back. Okay, got them all done. Yeah. Got them all done. This one's out of the oven, cooling down. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. No paint on these, only powder coat. And like I was saying before, powder coating is the best way to go. This way, we never have to repolish the valve cover ever again. All we got to do is take a dry, clean microfiber towel and wipe it. Not wet, not with any wax or cleaner. Just wipe it and it'll shine up just how it is right now, and it's perfect. Yeah, because the one in the movie, they polished it and hand painted with a brush the letters, and well, for them to keep the shine up, they had to keep polishing it, and the letters, the paint on the letters eventually just came off. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you didn't, I don't blame you. Man, I'm really liking these. Don't forget this video. Don't forget to leave a comment and a like, because it'll help me out a lot. Like I said, I'm building these, making these to help fund my Fast and Furious. I can't talk. It's late, as you can tell. I started at 9 in the morning, and it's almost 9 right now. So, and I would have been done easier if I didn't have little mistakes, because I accidentally a few times rubbed my hand or a piece of paper up against the part, so I had to recoat it. And it's very easy, and that's the thing about powder coat. You touch it, you mess up, just wipe it off, spray some more, and there you go. You don't have to sand, you don't have to prep it again, nothing like that. Just wipe it off and respray some more powder. But man, I love these. They look like if they're polished. That's the good thing about it. They look like they're polished. It ain't real chrome like on those old vehicles with the chrome bumpers and stuff, but this gives you that polished aluminum look, guaranteed. So I'll be making more. This is the first set of 3. I made one already, which is on my Eclipse at the moment. So alright guys, I'm gonna head out. It's getting late and I work really early. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Peace.